Welcome to the next session of Keeping It Live with Keeping It Simple with Prashant Rajore. With all your support and love, these sessions are becoming more and more popular. More and more people are seeing more viewership, and it is all because of you. We will be joined by Dhruv in a few seconds from now. So the moment he joins, we will start the session. He's just sent his request, so any moment we'll start this. Have you here on Keeping It Simple. If you have any questions, you can put it in the comment section here, and Dhruv will read it out and ask those questions.
Jai.
So here is Dhruv.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev, Dhruv. Good,
Fine,
good. How are you?
Absolutely. Great. Bhaiya, are you ready for this week's questions?
Yes, I am ready.
Awesome.
As always.
Perfect. So I'll start with the first question. The first question is, Gurudev mentioned in one of his sessions that music can play a major role in one's spiritual journey. I want to learn music, but I don't have an ear for it. How to get started?
Yeah, if you don't have ear for music, you don't need to learn music. At least you listen to music. So not everyone needs to be a musician. Listening to music also can help you calm down the mind. And Gurudev says that is the first step. You know, the mind which is scattered in so many places, listening to music calms down. But later on the path of meditation, even music becomes a slight disturbance. But that is later, you know. At least for the beginning, you can listen to some music, come in some rhythm, come in some harmony. So Gurudev says, no, to take a step, you have to leave a step. So music is that step, but after some time, you have to leave that step also to move forward. So, and most importantly, you don't need to learn music to experience the harmony which music creates. Listening to music, any form, whether it is percussion or instrumental, any form of music is good.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Okay, so a lot of people have been listening to the Bhakti Sutras. I have a question. Is that what or which karma leads to Bhakti?
Yeah, this was a question which was asked to Gurudev. He says, you know, just relax. You know, your relaxation itself is a sign of surrender, and the divine will take care of it. You cannot be feverish about it that I need to increase my bhakti and this. गुरुदेव से वो हिंदी में भी बोलते हैं ना, कुछ जान कर चलो, कुछ मान कर चलो. तो ये मानने की बात है कि मेरे में भक्ति है. और कभी कभी हम फिसल जाते. गुरुजी बोलते कि इट इज ऑल अकॉर्डिंग टू योर स्ट्रेंथ. यू आर नॉट एक्सपेक्टेड टू, यू नो, the more you grow on the spiritual path, you become stronger, and then you're automatically that bhakti develops. And there are so many forms of bhakti. Okay, so let us not be in that space of judgment. Gurudev, in fact, even said today, you know, just the fact that you have listened to Bhakti Sutras itself has taken you to some other level. Whether we are able to implement it or not, that is a different question.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Next question is, I feel like everything is deterministic. I let go of control, but sometimes I don't like the situation. And how to find that acceptance or change my opinion about free will or destiny?
See, both exist at one point only. You know, it's not that sometimes it is determined and sometimes you have free will. Gurudev gives a very beautiful example. No, your height is your destiny, but your weight is free will, isn't it? So in the same way, it's going to rain is destiny, but what you do in your rain is also free will. So at every moment of time, it's a combination of both. There are some things which are destined to happen, and there are some things which you need to do, which you can do. So that is what life is all about. You cannot say, oh, it is all determined and I don't need to do anything. No, you know, at every step you have freedom also to do whatever needs to be done. Sometimes limited, sometimes more, but you get freedom.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Okay, how to overcome the whirlpool created by our senses, as it ultimately leads to sorrow.
See, don't get into so much judgmental. This is causing sorrow. This is causing this. Just relax. You keep on meditating, and as you meditate, automatically things will become clear. Mm. Senses are not all that bad. If there are no senses, then nothing in life will happen. No, only when you see, you will be able to perceive, and then you will be able to act. Otherwise, you will be just like a blind mind. You will say, I will not believe what I'm seeing or I'm hearing or tasting. Life is there to be enjoyed through the senses, but that source of enjoyment is beyond the senses. That is what we need to recognize. And that experience happens with meditation. So don't be feverish, oh, this is what I need to achieve and I have to do it now. We are all on a journey. We have a wonderful guru with us who is going to take care of us and who will reach us where we need to reach. Gurudev says, once you get into the train, then you cannot worry about whether when the train will reach or whether it will reach the destination or not. So now you're inside a train. Finding a guru in life is difficult. Choosing the train is difficult, but once you're inside the train will take you to your destination sooner or later. So that time you just need to relax. Whatever needs to happen, how much the senses need to be involved, how much they need to be detached, all that you will be taken care of. We have a guru who will take care of everything.
Thank you. So the next question is, I had visited Bangalore Ashram during Mahashivratri. It was totally different, the vibrations. As I left the ashram, the energy started fading away. I feel low. Please help.
Yeah, you go to some places with high energies and you come to the ashram, but you have to also live life, no? And Gurudev has given us techniques to maintain our energy. Do Sudarshan Kriya regularly, do meditation regularly. And life is a mixture of all experiences. You cannot have the same experience all the time, otherwise, the charm of that experience will be lost. We have all tasted one sweet after another. We have a laddu, and then we have a peda, then we come to gulab jamun. And by the time we reach rasgulla, we don't get the taste of sweet anymore. So we need to have something salty, bitter, sour to appreciate the taste of sweet. In the same way, we cannot have that same experience all the time. So contrast is needed, and that contrast helps you appreciate that experience more. So Gurudev says, no, go out in the world and play and come back to your home. You cannot be sitting at home all the time. Then how will life move? Unless it is in lockdown, you have to sit here. But other than that, you have to move, you have to act and be involved in the world. Even though I am living in the ashram, I am also traveling, I am also teaching courses. Gurudev himself is traveling, teaching courses. Now because of lockdown, he is restricted, but he travels much more than anyone else on this planet, isn't it? So, that is what it is.
Okay. Sure. There's a question that's similar, so I'm going to combine these two questions. One of the question was about depression and suicide and how commonplace it has become in the society, and how we can reduce it. And someone is asking a similar question about a situation that has left him depressed. So what to do?
See, there might be many causes of depression that psychologists, psychiatrists, people who are doing research into that, they will say. But what I also feel is somewhere a person is holding to something very ideal in life. They feel that only when I don't have a certain type of thoughts, I will be all right, or only when I do have a certain type of feelings, I will be all right. And they are fighting with that perfection in their mind, which they are not able to achieve. So when I talk, when many people come and say, I'm feeling very bad, this is happening in my mind. And the fact that I say this is a very normal type aspect of life, you having these thoughts and you feeling, that is how life is, play of all these feelings and all that. And many people feel relaxed, disturbed. So we have an ideal, everyone should appreciate me. I should have positive thoughts all the time. This can be also one of the reasons. I'm not negating any of the other reasons. Hmm. And then, you know, some people also go through breakups and some difficult situations, and they think, you know, they should be feeling very good even if they go through a breakup or this. But we are human beings. We will express all sides of positive and negative emotions, all sorts of positive and negative thoughts, and we have to take this is part of life. And the most important thing is Gurudev keeps on telling us again and again that life is a celebration. Don't take it too seriously. In a party, you're not very serious, and that is why you're able to enjoy a party. So this is the same way. Life is a celebration. Enjoy life. Be happy. Find ways for that celebration to happen. And you don't have to put on a show. Meditation makes it a living reality. Sudarshan Kriya makes it a living reality. So reach out, you know. And then what happens? We feel that something is wrong with us, and then we feel to reach out to people. Why? Because that is, you know, we feel that this is going to reflect in my relations with others. How can I reach out? I'm not good. I'm not well. And that complicates the matter further. Okay. So reach out, talk to friends, express yourself, and whatever, if you're feeling depressed, it's nice you have shared your depression out. But share it with people who are not going to look down upon. Sometimes, you know, many of us, I used to do it earlier, but after that, to a large extent, I have reduced. But there were some, you know, people who would behave very funnily. Every second day they will call and they will express some funny things and they will pour their heart out. They will get angry, upset. All sorts of things would happen with them. And then I would, you know, when their number would ring, I would not answer their phone calls. At one level, we say we need to reach out to such people, and I was also myself not doing it. But then over a period, I said, no, they are calling me, they're troubling me because they require help. Nobody is willing to listen to them. So now for me, I don't, what do you say, reject any call. If I'm busy, if I'm on a course, there is a missed call, but I call back every single person. Every single person. People send me messages. I have not blocked anyone on my WhatsApp messages. There are some people who send hundreds of messages and nasty messages. They accuse you, they tell you all sorts of things. But I feel that if I am not going to take it from them, then who's going to take it? At one place, I can say, why is he sending nasty message? I have met that person only one or twice in my life. But that is it, you know. They feel something, they accuse you, you take it. They tell you all sorts of things, funny things. Sometimes in the middle of something important, they are continuously calling you. So that is what patience and perseverance and taking care of people is all about. You cannot negate any single person. Many of us do it. Even the closest of my friends, I see, array, this person is called, now he's going to create trouble for me. And we don't take up their calls. So people are calling you because they feel that, you know, there is someone whom they can pour everything out to. So they might not know the right expression. If they knew the right expression, if they were in control, then they would not be in that state at all, isn't it? So this happened to me. About 10 or 12 years ago, there was this lady who was sending nasty messages and all that, and I blocked her, you know, from my phone and WhatsApp, whatever. And 2-3 months later, I heard she landed herself in a psychiatric care, mental hospital, and I felt, you know, maybe if I had heard her out, then she wouldn't have gone to that extent, you know. So then that was the time I felt little responsible. I said, no, it doesn't matter. My mind might be bothered a little bit. My life might be disturbed a little bit. But that is what is taking care of people around means. It's not that you take care of people only who you find convenient and comfortable. Taking care of people is going through discomfort and pain. And that all of us need to inculcate in us. You know, if we have to change society, if we are here to take care of people, otherwise it becomes very hollow words. There are so many people putting it on Facebook, I'm going to listen to you. But are we personally doing that? When people are abnormal only, then they do all these funny things. If they were normal, they would not do it. So it requires a little shift in consciousness. One way we say we are available, I can take care of suicides and all that, but it's a very hollow thing if you're not willing to take that pain. And I've seen Gurudev do it. That is the most amazing thing, you know. He will stop the most important of meetings and cater to a person. Sometimes a person will come to him crying, Guruji, my cat is missing. You know, it might be so trivial. But for Gurudev and for that person, Gurudev feels that he needs to take care and he would take care. He takes care. So when we give human beings priority over anything else, then we will be able to take care and we will be able to bring many such people out. Okay.
Thank you for those words. I'll move on to the next question. So the question is, what are the do's and don'ts for a sadhak during the upcoming solar eclipse on June 21st?
Yeah, that is what our ancestors and parents have always been telling us. Solar eclipse is not the time to venture out. Since times immemorial, our parents would say never to look at a solar eclipse, and only now in the last 15-20 years the scientists have started saying that we should not be looking at a solar eclipse. It's time to be home as much as possible so that you avoid contact with the sun totally, and then meditate a lot, do japa, do pujas, something which will take you inward. That is what is advised. And then after the solar eclipse is over, then the tradition is we take a bath. And in my family, the tradition was after taking a bath, it was a time to donate some grains or whatever to people on the streets. So after all the solar eclipse, we would take a bath, and I remember my father would carry a small bag, about 5-6 kilos of rice, and he will distribute it to the poor people, 4 or 5 families. We will go to their homes, huts, and come back. So that is what is advised. And then my mother would clean up the whole house. You know, she would do the sweeping and mopping, or if the maid servant was there, she would do it, but she would make sure that the house is clean. So this is what is advised. You know, how much we know, how much is true, how much is not, we don't know. But since the fact that thousands of years ago we knew that we should not be looking at the sun, and which has been supported by the scientists now, it means there should be some logic in other things also. We can't negate it. So last question.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so I got this question. It's like, how to get up early in the morning? I can stay up all night. One of the reasons is that I like the peace night. So I end up sleeping late at night, but I have to suffer the next day. It's difficult for me to get up early, feel lethargic. So the summary is how to sleep on time, avoid overthinking, and get up early.
So, for this, Gurudev gave a suggestion, don't take a big jump altogether from sleeping at 5 o'clock in the morning to waking up at 5 o'clock morning. It's not going to happen in one day flat. And many times we make New Year resolutions, it's like that only. From 100 to 0, we want to come in no time whatsoever. And what happens over a few days? It all breaks apart. All those plans and everything, they just fall apart, and we are back to square one. So Gurudev said, break it up into smaller, achievable targets. So he said, first do it for 3 days. Then when you're able to do it for 3 days, then next time keep a target of 5 days. Then 7 days, slowly increase the target. At other times, he also said, now, if you're sleeping at 5, then start sleeping at 4, at least 2-3 nights a week from every night. Then come a little earlier, and then, one by one, pull your sleep also a little earlier. And that is how many of us, immediately if you want, it's not going to happen. So you decide what type of small targets you would like to do, set for yourself, achieve those. And once in a while, if you fail, It's okay. Restart. A small child learned to walk only by falling again and again. It's not that he stood up one day and just started walking, isn't it? We were there at that moment of time. We were also like that, isn't it? So small achievable targets, step by step, step by step. That is how you come out of your habits. Not only sleeping late and waking up late, but any other habit.
Great. Thank you, Bhaiya.
So good.
And thank you for elaborately answering
Yeah.
these questions. I benefited from them. I don't know. I'm sure that people who were asking, they definitely benefited.
Yes, and as I'm answering the questions, there are so many things which are opening up in me also, and I feel, I could do certain things much better than what I am doing now. So it's nice we are having this interaction, and nice so many people are joining. It's increasing every week. So next week we will meet again at 6:30. We will have many more questions. And the good thing about these questions are he's not asking me or telling me in advance what these questions are going to be. Okay, so it's all spontaneous, it's all live, there is no preparation for it. So feel free to ask your questions and let us spread the information to many, many people. A lot of people require some kind of information in their life, and it will be really helpful to have a different perspective. I'm not saying whatever I'm saying is true, and this has to be followed, but they will get one more perspective to look at things in their life. So nice. Dhruv, would you like to add anything?
No, that's it. Thank you so much.
So that's all for tonight, and hope to see you next Monday, 6:30. Wish you all the best. Bye bye.
Thank you, Jai Gurudev.